All right, we're going to do number 9. And let's first look at this and figure out, is this going to be a vertical parabola or a horizontal parabola? So comparing it to our graphing form equations, here the y is being squared, the x is not being squared. So we have a horizontal parabola. So I'm going to make a note of that here. And we're trying to first get this equation in graphing form so that we can fill in these important features and then graph the parabola. So notice this one is horizontal. Number 5 was vertical because the x was squared. So let's try to get this equation into this graphing form. So first step is to make sure you isolate the variable that is being squared. So, or in other words, all of the y's should be on one side of the equation. So since the y is being squared, let's group those together and move everything else to the other side of the equation. So 12x and the 11 moves over here. This allows us to complete the square. So y squared plus 2y plus, and let's complete the square. B divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. That means I need to add 1 on this side as well. If I factor here, we get y plus 1 squared, and over here we get negative 12x plus 12. So going back to what we want it to look like, so we already did the completing the square process. So we already have this showing up right here, but we want the x isolated. Right now we have the two sides of the equation switched, which is completely fine. So let's divide, or actually subtract the 12 first. So y plus 1 squared minus 12 equals negative 12x. And then we need to divide by negative 12. So we now have the x isolated, which is what we wanted, and the 1 over 4p that we want in front of the y minus k squared, that's going to be negative 1 over 12. So we have negative 1 over 12, y plus 1 squared, this is positive 1. So we have it in graphing form. So let's go ahead and just transfer that over here. X equals negative 1/12 y plus 1 squared plus 1. All right, so our vertex. Be careful when you're finding the vertex because now we have y minus k over here and our h value here. So h is positive 1. This is y minus k, so k is negative 1. So I'm going to go ahead and plot my vertex right there at 1, negative 1. And in order to determine the focus, let's determine our p value, p being the distance from the vertex to the focus. So we know that 1 over 4p is equivalent to negative 1 over 12. So 1 over 4p, let's set that equal to negative 1 over 12. By doing that, we can figure out that p would have to be equal to negative 3. So let's put that right here. Okay, we said at the very beginning, we said it's a horizontal parabola. So p being negative 3 means in the horizontal direction, our focus should be negative 3 from the vertex. So I'm going to draw my focus right there. And then you can tell that this parabola opens left because of the negative a value. The directrix, or actually let's fill in the focus point first. So the focus is at negative 2, negative 1. Our directrix should be equidistant from the vertex compared to the focus. So this is 3. Let's go 3 this direction and draw our vertex, or our directrix. This line, the equation of this line is 1, 2, 3, x equals 4. And the axis, last thing we need to fill in, is this line, y equals negative 1.